Mother Teresa is a name known and loved throughout many countries and times. The good works of the saintly woman are forever engraved in the history of Christianity and the history of our hearts. But life with a nun was not always easy. Mother Teresa is a woman who lived her life not being indifferent to the tragedy around her. Feeling called to it, she left the comforts of her previous order to follow Christ's example and start a new service in the slums of India. In the first year that Mother Teresa was in Calcutta, she witnessed a dying woman being eaten by rats and covered in ants. Taking this afflicted woman into her arms, she carried her to a government building, pleading for a place to house the dying. She was given a place in an abandoned temple. In her very words, "They lived like animals. At least they die like human beings." Over the course of 37 years, 23,000 people died with dignity in that very spot she had laid this woman to rest. The order she began, the Missionaries of Charity, started many hospitals and hospices in Calcutta and around the world. Calcutta, where 44% of the city did not have sewers and the streets were filled with over 200,000 pavement dwellers, was a place where most of Mother Teresa's time and talents were given to the neglected children, the aged, the lepers, the cripples, the AIDS victims, the dying, the homeless, the hungry. The list goes on. Mother Teresa was not indifferent to the tragedies of poverty, but helped in any way she could in hopes to make people's lives so much better.
Mother Teresa inspires others by looking towards the future and confronting the past by her work with children. She went to teach at St. Mary's High School for girls and taught the poorest Bengali families. She dedicated herself to alleviating the girls' poverty by giving them the tools they needed through education. This was her way of bettering their future and being the light of their lives. Mother Teresa helped better the future of her students by being dedicated and having a deep love for them. To better other people's futures, she opened up a school and she gathered volunteers. Her charity gave many services such as clinics, schools, and soup kitchens. These places helped a variety of people in need. Mother Teresa devoted her life to others and lived like them to help better their futures. Overall, Mother Teresa inspired others by looking to the future by teaching the girls and bringing them in, and looked to the past by knowing where they came from.
Mother Teresa had great persistence and faith, and she needed this in order to do what she did. Mother Teresa's story begins when she moved from her home in Macedonia to a convent in Ireland. In order for her to move across the continent away from her family, she needed great faith that God would keep her safe. After taking her vows and becoming a nun, she moved to India to carry out her work. She could have stayed as a principal, but instead she left, which got her call within call, as she said. Mother Teresa wanted to leave her convent and work directly with the poor people of Calcutta, but she could not for a while, so it took 1.5 years of persistent lobbying to allow her to go out and follow her call. Accepting this call alone showed faith that she would follow in Jesus' footsteps, go out into the streets, leaving the safety of her convent behind. Mother Teresa had great faith as she worked, and she needed it, and she trusted Jesus to keep her safe when she went into war zones to help little kids. Mother Teresa also expanded her love outside of Calcutta into communist countries such as the Soviet Union and Cuba. Sadly, we have lost Mother Teresa, but before we did, we showed her that we appreciate her by giving her the Nobel Peace Prize, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Order of Merit, and the Pope John XXIII Peace Prize,
There are
along with
many
many
examples
others.
of Mother Teresa contributing new things and advancements to the world around her. In her mission to provide for the poor and helpless, she created many foundations, charities, and hospitals. With her kind nature and deep, soulful outlook on life, it is hardly surprising that the kind woman did not speak out against those with different opinions in any way that could be considered offensive.
Mother Teresa founded a charity devoted to helping the poor, and she was canonized as a saint in 2016. She was a humanitarian and a faithful messenger of God, which is why she is a role model to all, and she would be a perfect candidate for the award.
There are many examples of Mother Teresa contributing new things and advancements to the world around her. In her mission to provide for the poor and helpless, she created many foundations, charities, and hospitals. With her kind nature and deep, soulful outlook on life, it is hardly surprising that the kind woman did not speak out against those with different opinions in any way that could be considered offensive.